Surprise. So I heard there's no streams today from old Shelby. I wonder where he's disappeared off to. I've lost touch a bit recently, actually. So yes, you've got me now instead. Hey, woohoo! Great. I have no idea what I'm doing today. I didn't know I was streaming until, well, literally 5 minutes ago. When I saw Shelby wasn't done, I thought, oh, hello. I'd better stream. The better sounding Shelby today. Hello, Dizziac. Yes, the better sounding Shelby today. What are you saying about Shelby? That he's got a horrible American accent? He's not British. Ah, yes. Don't know what's happening. What shall we do? Drat. What shall we do today then? Just sit here and chat, shall we? Or shall we do something fun? Who knows? I don't know what I could do today. I mean, I've got a purple laptop. I can nuke the celery. No, I don't want to nuke the celery. We tried nuking the celery and it didn't work very well. It got so far and then it decided it wasn't going to play ball anymore. There's always the purple laptop. Drag the purple Dell out and more volts. Risky. I like the celery. I don't want to blow it up. There's the purple laptop. I've got a record player that I need to look at some point. There's the celery, I suppose. I could put the celery's life on the line for the purpose of entertainment, I suppose. See what it can do. Do we risk it? What celery? Hello, generic sweetener. The Celeron, whatever it was, I can't remember what speed it was now. 2.6 gigahertz or something that we'd cranked up to 3 gigahertz or something. See if we can crank it up a bit further. We tried pushing it up a bit further than that and it died. So we gave up at that point, but Dizziac really wants to push it further if we can. He's a bit of an overclocking nut when it comes to Celerons. Maybe we will do that. It's something to do anyway. One moment. I think this is the computer. I can't remember. I've got so many computers now. I can't remember which is which. I think it was the Not Adele. Set voltage equals yes. Oh, hang on. I've just realised. I'm sat here in silence. That's better. Right, was this the Celeron or was this the AMD? I'm pretty sure this was the Celeron. Good night, Mock Helix. Power. I need power. Oh yes, I used my power cable on my new Switch, didn't I? I'm going to have to get another power cable. One moment. brand new power cable. Still got its plastic thing on the pins. Right, where's my keyboard? There it is. Let's see what we can get this baby to do. I don't know why they put those plastic things on. I think it's to protect whatever else is in the box with them. Okay. Let's see if this even does anything. It doesn't appear to be doing anything at the moment. Unless it's just so quiet and the LED on the front isn't working. I'm not seeing anything. Okay. There's power. The CD tray opens. Ah, there it goes. It is working. It's just so quiet I can't hear it. Yes, this is the Celeron. Currently running at 3.45 gigahertz. So, what is it we're going to try on this then? You're saying we should increase the FSB. And what is it you wanted to increase it to? 300 FSB you want. 300 FSB. We'll want to change the ratio then to bring this back down to, what was it we wanted? We wanted 800, didn't we? We can't get 800. 752 is the best we can get. 752 or 902. 752, good enough. Now, what is the voltage? I don't know what GV3 is. Where are my voltage settings? Are there any voltage settings? I'm not sure there are voltage settings on here. Hello, Urban Monkey. Yes, this is a blue screen. This is a nice blue screen, not a horrible blue screen. We like these blue screens. That was a short experiment, yes. If we can't find any voltage settings, then there's no chance of us doing anything. There's nothing in DRAM, that's all about timings. We can adjust the PCIe frequency. We can have auto disable the frequency, whatever that does. Turn spread spectrum on and off. We can set the timing, but it doesn't look like there's any voltage settings. That's just all about flashing the BIOS. Hardware monitor doesn't give us any ability to change anything. Power management is all about wake up and sleep. Integrated peripherals, nothing about power in there, nothing under advanced. CPU features, no. Virtualization, etc. No. Boot sequence and trusted computing. And the standard stuff, drives and system information. We may be out of luck. Have I tried doing it different? I'd love to do it different. That was a good stream, right? Okay, that's it. That's stream over. We're done now. Let me put this back to 266. And done. Later all. See ya. Bye-bye. No, you've got me all evening, I'm afraid. Put that back to 800. So it doesn't look like we have the option to set the voltages. Unless there's an option on the motherboard itself, which I doubt. I can't remember what the board was on this one. This was the... this was the... Ooh, no, which one is it? What the motherboard was in this now. Yeah, I know. I'm not expecting there to be anything on the motherboard. So, no, I think we are, as the saying goes, shit out of luck. So, I'm afraid this is as fast as we're going. Yep, we've gone all the way up the creek and we got completely stuck. Yes, that's how it's looking, certainly. Yeah. So, no overclocking at further than the level that we've got to. Whatever that was, I can't remember now. So that's that idea out of the window. No further overclocking. To get it any faster, we'd have to replace the chip. Now this has only got 2 memory slots as well. Activate Windows. No, go away. That involves making a phone call. Let's shut this one down then. Where's it gone? There it is. Okay, so what's our next idea then? Where's my mouse gone? Oh, there it is. Let's get me back again. Right, so we've exhausted one idea. That was quick. It's the ideal board to be paired with a Celeron. If all you want is cheap and just works. I can't remember what the board is in this. I'm just going to quickly whip the side off. MSI, that was it. Couldn't remember. And the model number is hidden under the graphics card that I added, which is also an MSI. Oh, it's the MS7592, version 1. MS7592. I'm lucky the MSI board turns on. MSI are good. This one hasn't even needed to be recapped. Just needed a little bit of dusting. See if I can find a manual for this. Support, manual and document, download. How to put in memory, I think I know that. How to plug in a fan, useful manual. It does say in the manual, use this menu to specify your settings for frequency/voltage control. However, it doesn't appear to actually have anything for voltage control. And now we're into Korean, so I don't think that's going to be any use. Maybe an updated BIOS? We have 2611 is the newest, which was released in 2012. Let's just plug it in again and see what we've got. Version 2061. No, that doesn't match with anything. BIOS version 1.11. Okay, that's its numbering scheme just doesn't match what I'm seeing on here, which is version 2611. But that is from 2010, certainly. Which looks like it would be... .0924. There isn't an 0924, there's a 0831. I mean, I'm not 100% certain this is the same board because it's a different colour. Yeah, no, I'm not certain this is the right board actually. This is a red board, but the one on the screen is blue. It's also got a different model number, but the model number format is completely different, so I think it might have two different numbers. But everything else matches up. No. In M-Flash. $7592 is the model number. When I googled that, it came up with the G41MP28. A lot of sensible things make Americans uncomfortable. Especially measurements. If they aren't measuring in eagles per gun, they're not happy. Buy a tank at Walmart. Yeah, you go buy a tank. Keep some fish in it. 2 fish in a tank. One says to the other, how do you drive this thing? Sorry, I couldn't help myself there. Right, so yeah, I think we'll say no more to overclocking that. I'm not going to let Dizyak talk me into it anymore. LPG tanks make good rockets. And good heat sources for food, yes. Right, I had some screws just now. What have I done with them? I can never remember where I put my screws. Oh, there they are. I'm completely screwed. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Right. What am I doing next then? Suggestions? No, I'm not doing more overclocking. Build a 3D printer. No, thank you. I have a 3D printer. It's in the garage at the moment. It's too big to fit in my room here. It's a great big Delta thing that stands about 3 foot high. It's a massive chunk of thing. And prints rubbish as well. I just don't use it enough to worry about getting a better one. You're in the process of building ... another. Does that mean that you've got at least 20? And you're building your 21st? If you do it to make money, that's fair enough. You can have all the 3D printers you want then. Only 6. Only 6! I'll mail you an unbuilt original MakerBot if you're not careful. Behave or you'll get a MakerBot. This here is an old record player. Well, it's not that old, but it's reasonably old. From the 80s. It's not been used for many, many, many years. It's incredibly dusty. Let's make some room on my desk. Buried under laptop power supplies at the moment. I need a bigger desk. I need a bigger room to put a bigger desk in. One record player. Very dusty. You recently built a RepRap Medal, a design from 2009. Oh, a Mendel. Right, I think I'm got enough room here now. This is the Dual CS503-1. It's been up in the attic for the past 20 years. I don't know if it works, if it spins, if it makes noise. I know nothing. So I'm just going to plug it in and see what happens. If it goes bang, yeah, it'll go bang. It's not gone bang yet. Not a lot happening. I am expecting the belt to be completely fried. The spindle spins. There's no belt as far as I can see, is there? I don't know. Looks like there should be a belt. There's no sign of a belt. Ah, hello. There's a belt. There was a belt. It's disappeared off over to one side. It's still got some stretchiness to it. But it's obviously snapped where it's been sat doing nothing for decades. At least I can easily measure it. I might even be able to repair it. It might be repairable because I'm clever like that, although yeah, it's perishing. I just touched the end and it crumbled. Although it's got some stretch to it. That's probably the original join there, I think. It's just perished a bit. But the rest of it, I think, is still reasonable. The question is it stretched? No, I think lengthwise it's okay. It doesn't feel gooey at all. It's got plenty of stretch and bounce to it still. I can play it. So it's still a viable belt, it just needs rejoining together. But I think that was probably the original join where it's perished. If you give me 5 minutes, I'm going to go to the garage and go and see what I can find. One moment. And I'm back. And I have the magic stuff that I need. New belts can be held on eBay for £6 to £10. Old belts can be repaired for nothing. Or nearly nothing. I've never tried this before. I've not heard if it works or not. I'm making this up as I go along. But I have vulcanizing rubber solution from my bicycle puncture repair kit. Hopefully this will weld the rubber together reliably. Measure it first. Hang on a moment. Yeah, it's about half the length. It's that long and a bit more. I'm not sure I've got a tape measure here actually. I used to have a tape measure here, but I've no idea where. I have no hope of finding it, so I've got some fabric tape, and I'll just cut a length off that's the same length and then measure it later. If I can find the end. I even find my pen knife today. There we go, that's the same length. So I shall store that piece of fabric tape away, stuck to the front of my desk, to measure later. Right, let's see what we can do with this. Give the ends a bit of a roughen up, clean them up. The belt would be marginally more difficult to use once glued to my hands or workbench. That would be true if this was glue, but this isn't glue. This is vulcanizing rubber solution. It doesn't stick, it melts. It liquefies the rubber. It's what you use to put puncture repairs on patches on bicycle inner tubes. Let's just overlap this a tiny amount. In fact, do I even need to overlap? I'll try not to overlap. Just want it to sit together. And hopefully it'll sort of weld itself. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to put another big squidge of it over the top. And just let the whole thing just sort of melt and mellow. Stringy stuff. Very old, this. Had it many years. Haven't had a bike for the past 5 years. Still got the puncture repair kit from it though. With any luck, it should give a nice, flexible, stable join. But it may not. I do also have some offcuts of rubber as well that I might be able to use to reinforce it. In fact, I might do just that. Let's just cut a little strip of rubber and stick this on the outside. It shouldn't affect it at all because it's not, unlike that floppy drive one of Shelby's, it's not snaking around on both sides of the belt, only one side. And this being rubber should have a similar flexibility. If I can get the protective layer off the back of it. Which I can't. Come on, off you come. There it goes. Cover that in more vulcanizing solution. Pop that onto there. Gone a bit slimy now. That is the right way around, isn't it? That's the inside all the way around, yeah. Yeah. Yes, the rubber's gone very slimy now where it's melted it. So with any luck, that will work. That just needs to sit there for the next 6 months. Brings audio files out in a cold sweat. If this doesn't work, I can always buy a belt. If it does work, I've saved myself 10 quid. Right. Just going to leave that to sit there for a bit now. So, how have you all been this week then? Have you had a fun week? A DIY tracked drone. Ooh. Details, details. Tell us more. Any pictures to share? No wider than a door, and each track is 10 centimetres wide. That's a pretty large drone then. I was thinking something more like sort of RC car size. That sounds like an impressive bit of kit you're working on. Is this just purely for fun, or have you got a reason for doing this? Ah, treasure hunting or archaeological? That rubber that I put in seems to be a bit more stretchy than the original, so I'm not sure how it's going to work. But it feels like it's holding. I'm wondering actually about maybe putting some on the other side actually, because it's quite thin. It might work. Or it might upset the whole thing. What do you think? Shall I put some on the inside, or would that mess everything up? You want to be able to launch a small quadcopter as well for further SAR work. Cool. Making your own ingenuity, are you? I hope that this drone is going to be called Perseverance. Make your own Percy and Ginny. Yeah, maybe I'll try it like this first and see if it survives. Or I might put another layer on the back actually, because that does feel very thin. So I might just reinforce the back a bit perhaps. I look forward to seeing it, Urban Monkey. Right, let's put this in place. Because yes, it's dry already, it's all setting up quite happily. Much better than using super glue, which we know full well doesn't work. A 3D printable massive drone would be nice. Release it on your neighbours. Well, it turns. slight bobble as it goes around the small spindle, but I think it might work. We may have just fixed it. Let's see if it'll take a load. We might be okay here. It might be fixed. I might be a genius. Now, of course, the question is, what's the needle like on this? Utter trash, probably. And I would need some way of getting the sound in. So I would want my eye on, wouldn't I think? One moment. The Mixmeister Ion. Wonderful little bit of kit. Oh. A 3D printable chain. Cool. Nice. I've never been that adventurous with my 3D printing. Just a box to put something in is the best I've done, I think, or a bracket to mount a screen on or something. Right, let's see if we can get this working. It's impressive to me. It's more than I could do. Right, now where are we? I need to set up another input here, don't I? Audio input capture. And I want to monitor it as well, don't I? Wow, that's a loud buzz. Shouldn't be a ground loop. Unless the ground wire is knackered. So the thing with the Mixmeister is it actually has a phono mode and a phono ground point. So it's supposed to cut that sort of thing out. It's only in the right. But also in the left if I touch the right. Whoa, that is throbby. I can hear, let's unplug the right. I can hear the needle in the left. There's definitely something weird going on with the right channel though. And the left sides as well. Let's disconnect the ground wire. It's struggling with the right channel. I shall get my special test record for this, I think. It will get matched, unfortunately, with content match. However, it's a record which I really don't mind if it gets scratched up and broken. Let's get a better view here. Burt Bacharach in concert. Haha. My burner record. The record that can be destroyed without me worrying about it. Let's see what happens. Hang on, that's not going to work unless I go onto the other scene where the input is. We have sound. I'll just do little snatches. Let's see if we can get the right channel working. Now it's making noise. No, that's just buzz. So there is sound coming through from there. Yeah. So what's going on with this right channel that's causing it to buzz so much? Let's put Bert back to bed. That's enough Bert for one night. That's more Bert than anyone can stomach. Everybody should have at least one record that they can use to test a record player of unknown provenance. Well, the turntable itself has got a lot of weight to it. It's a good heavy metal turntable. Not one of your cheap light plastic things. So that itself just helps to smooth out any variations. Right, why is this not working then? You tagged me in a photo on TT Discord. You may have done, but it hasn't alerted me. Unless it's in a channel which I have muted. In show and tell. Ah. Why that didn't show me, flag me up, I don't know, but that looks cool. That's a nice bit of printing. A lot cleaner than I can do. Right, let's have a dismantling, I think. See what's going on. hang on. That was silly. Didn't want to do that. I want to take that out completely before turning it over. Although I can get the electronics from the top side, I think. So there's not a lot in here, really. We have a basic power supply, linear. We have incoming wires from the needle going straight out the back. And that's it, basically. That's for driving the motor, and everything else is just directly fed from the needle. So there's really nothing to go wrong there. So why the red one should be buzzing so badly? That sounds really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. Right. So we've got 5 wires coming in, 5 wires going out, and that's the sum of your electronics as far as the audio goes on this. So maybe there's a broken wire. I mean, we're getting audio on the red channel, on the right channel, but it was buzzing. Let's just test the continuity. Red center to here. Is okay. And red shield. There's a lot of oxidization over the solder here. I mean, it's quite high resistance for wire, but it's okay. That seems fine. Compare that to the white one. That is, yeah. Yeah, it's about the same. 20s. The inner one on there is low. The outer one is up in the 20s. 20s to 30s, yeah. That seems okay. Right, this all appears fine. Resistance between those coils there is coming out at 0.7, and between those ones there is 0.7. That all looks perfectly fine. I'm not familiar with NVIDIA's kit, but I know they are trying to be the big boys now. No, I can see no reason for this to be buzzing. Everything looks perfectly fine. I see no reason for buzz. But I don't know enough about record players to know these intricacies. So, anybody that does know about record players? Know why it would be buzzing? Quad-core ARM A57 with a 128-core GPU on board on an embedded computer. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Understandable for doing AI stuff, though. You want a good meaty GPU on it. Right. I'm at a loss what to think about this now. Let me just clean this connector a little, I think. It might just be that it's dirty and not making contact with the connector, perhaps. Do the white one while I'm at it. Hard to get in there to clean it. And these boards move so fast that it's like a car. The moment you drive it off the lot, it's obsolete. Let's see if this has helped. Nope, still buzz on the right. Swap the cables over. I get buzz on the left. So it's definitely something to do with the red cable. And it does come and go as I wiggle it. So I'm wondering if it is just a bad cable. Get it in just the right position and it improves. And if it's bad cable, that's easy to replace. I think I've kind of got it in a good position. Let's see if we can get stereo Bert. Hold on, let's take the protector off the needle. We have stereo Bert. It is just a dodgy cable. Let's try something else. Yeah, it's sounding alright actually. I might want to replace this cable then. There is still a bit of a buzz there, but not as bad as it was. And it comes and goes as I move the Mixmeister around slightly. So yeah, I think I'm going to replace that cable. which will be a nice easy job. Burt in both ears. Twice the Burt. Right, let's find a suitable cable. Have I got one that's already been cut off? I've got plenty of cables, that's not a problem. I don't want to waste one that's already a proper cable if I've got one that's already got one end cut off. Doesn't look like I've got one. So I'm going to have to cut the end off one. What's that one? Oh, there we go. Found one. Perfect cable. And I don't have to sacrifice a good cable. Plenty of length on it too. Let's tuck Bert away again. Night night, Bert. Right, let's see what we've got here. Looks like this is the strain relief. I might change microphones actually for this. If this one works. There we go. We should be on my headset one now. It's a bit loud. Get this one out of the way now. And I can actually get in there and work. I want my other glasses on as well, don't I? So I can see what the hell I'm doing. I might just turn it down a bit. There we go. Bring it in and turn it down. That should be alright now. Right, so we've got the ground wire and this is the dodgy one. It's probably in here where it's got chewed up, that it's perished inside. Just waiting for the soldering iron to warm up. So remember, it's ground red, white ground. Let's cut this to about the same length, I think, so that it matches the ground wire. Where have those wire cutters gone that I had earlier? Ah, there they are. Okay. Actually, while I'm doing this, let's get the BGM going. Right, solder. Red one's tinned. And the white ones. Trim them down a bit. Well, that would be interesting. Yes, drop us a link, will you, Urban Monkey? Excellent. I am, of course, using a audio grade, oxygen free solder for this. Right, let's pop this cable back into the strain relief, and I shall put it flat, not like it used to be. Sounds like you're off somewhere, generic sweetener. Is that the case? Are you sneaking away? I'm actually using pure silver, 120% silver this is. Even the space between the atoms is filled with silver. In fact, it's gold-plated silver. Every atom of silver is coated in gold. Ah, sorry, I missed that one from Urban Monkey. You guys got to go grab the dog from the groomers. If I'm not streaming when you get back, I hope it works out. I hope it does too. And what time? I've got another half hour at least yet. I have to stream at least as long as Shelby does to make up for the lack of Shelby. Pre-demagnetized, of course, yes. Absolutely. And specially attuned to the energy signature of the ether. Right. I'm going to plug this in to see if we get buzz. Only a very low hum if I turn it right up to maximum. I might have just nailed it. Right. Bert time. Time for a little more Bert. I really need to clean this record. It's disgustingly filthy. But then it is Bert Bacharach, so you can expect it to be disgustingly filthy. Which one do we want? None of those. What about this side? Track 6 on side 2. Now I'm doing all this upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Track 6. I'm not getting... Oops, wrong way. I'm only getting... Oh, hello, I've just broken the ground cable off. I'm only getting left. I'm not getting any right. I've completely broken the red channel now. Let's get the ground cable connected back on. Nothing at all from the right channel. That might be this cable being bad, of course. Wouldn't surprise me. It's just my luck to have replaced the bad cable with a bad cable. Let me just check this out. Oops. It looks okay. But looks can be deceiving. That gives a much better resistance on that. That's going straight through. That all looks perfectly fine. Have I broken the needle in some way? Point 0.7. 0.7, that all looks perfectly fine. So from the outer shield of the red plug to there, 0.39. Inner pin of the red plug to there, 0.47.5. The white one, 0.3. The inner pin, 0.5. All perfectly fine. So why no sound out of the red channel suddenly? Odd. Is the preamp known good? Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, I've used it for other things. Let's put Bert back on. Okay, this is the white cable plugged into the left channel. The white cable plugged into the right channel. The red cable plugged into the left channel. The red cable plugged into the right channel. Suddenly it's all working. Both cables plugged in. Bert in stereo. Okay, it must have just been a loose connection or something somewhere along the line. I don't like RCA plugs, they're never very good. But that is working. So, yeah. I think that's fixed, at least fixed enough that it's not buzzing now anyway. I don't know why it was not giving stereo just now. That's bizarre to say the least. But that's all I can play really of Bert. Not only is that, any more than that would definitely get content matched. But that's about as much Bert as I can stomach in one day. Little snippets like that. Enough Bert. Right. So yes, this, I think now, is a working record player. Brought back from the brink with a puncture repair kit and a new wire. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you repair a belt. It's got some horrible white stickiness on the back of this. Like there used to be a label on the back. And it's a bit dusty, but other than that, it's good to go. Where are we? Let's zoom out. And then see if it'll focus. Thank you. In fact, it's not just a bit dusty, it's a lot dusty. clean up. And somewhere around I have an actual preamp to go with it, which I can then use to connect it into my stereo system. And I can play Bert at full blast then, and really terrify the neighbours. It seems to have splashes of paint on this as well, which is going to take a bit more effort to get off than I'm willing to put in at the moment. But in its day, this was a very, very nice little turntable. Right. Let's put Bert to bed back on the shelf. But it does mean I will be able to play my favourite ever record. Nine Inch Nails, Sin. But this is the special version, because this is the it's rather dusty, unfortunately. This is the 9-inch version of a 9 Inch Nails record. Bert After Dark is against local ordinances. Absolutely he is. Yes, this is Sin 9-inch version of 9 Inch Nails, Sin. Which a friend of mine gave me many, many years ago as a birthday present. So I'm looking forward to being able to play that again. It might even be a 9 Inch Nails that Shelby hasn't got. Listen. Right, okay, I'm going to put this one to bed now. That's done. And I will need to dig out my little preamp and plug it in and get Bert blasting out. All right. That was a one loss, one win. We've got 20 minutes left. What shall we do for the next 20 minutes that can give us another win, so we have a net win overall rather than just a draw? What else have we got? I've not really got anything else really on the bench at the moment to work on. Well, nothing quick and easy anyway. Out of ideas now. Right. I'm going to see if I can show you the game that I've been working on, because it's starting to take a shape, kind of ish, in a way. Run. Let's bring that over here. I've been teaching myself Godot and how to write 3D games. So if I go into that one there, here we go. It is a very dark game, this. It's just you and your torch in a scary dungeon. With a glow stick, if you want. Helps if I play this looking at the screen, not at the OBS, which has got a delay. Go on, glow stick, where are you? Got to aim just right at the moment. It's not great, this, for trying to find things. There we go. Pick up the glow stick and take it around with you. I'm having problems with object collision at the moment. You can stick things straight through walls and what have you, and the floor and the ceiling. But you can put the no, something's gone really wrong there. Not sure what's going on there. Let's put my torch back on. Oh, I see. It's got itself stuck. You can carry the box around with you with the glow stick in it. But today, the big thing I did today is I got doors working. You can open the scary door. It's a game that you have to play in the dark, really. Let's turn the lights off. It's such a dark game. The idea is that you can't see anything you're doing, really. So you get completely hopelessly lost and I don't know where you're going or what's where, and you've got to sort out puzzles and things to try and escape, and all the time something's after you. Oh, I'm back in the starting room again. But I wish I could sort out object collisions. I do have a proper light there that I can turn on just for debugging purposes, so you can see what you're doing. But there is also a problem whereby you can drop things through the floor accidentally. But it's starting to take shape. All the whole of the level itself is all designed in Blender. So I'm learning a bit more about Blender as I go as well. But yeah, Godot's an interesting system to work in. So I've got run, walk and sneak modes. Ooh! Now there's an idea, generic sweetener. I hadn't thought of that. Yes! If I can, I will. I don't know how on earth I would do that, but that is a brilliant idea. That is a fantastic idea. I'm going to steal that idea if it's alright with you. And if it's not, I'm going to steal it anyway. But one of the main things with the game is basically you have one hand. You've actually got two hands, but one is holding your torch, and without your torch you can't see anything. Talking to you, producer. Yeah, you can't see anything without your torch, so you've got to have your torch. So that leaves you with one hand. You don't have an inventory, you haven't got a bag, you haven't got pockets, nothing like that. You just whatever you can carry in one hand. Which means, of course, if you've got something in your hand, you can't open a door. You've got to put it down first before you can open the door. So if you want to carry more than one thing around, you have to put them into something and then carry that around. Like this crate that I've got here. So you'd have to put things into the crate and then carry the crate around and things like that. Of course, I've lost my glow stick now. It's fallen through the floor. So I can't be carrying the crate and open the door, because I've got to be able to click to open the door, and I'm holding the mouse button down to hold the crate. But I can just clip that straight through the door at the moment, which is not good. So I have to put the crate down, open the door, take the crate out, close the door. Trying to make it sort of as properly physics-based as possible. But of course, physics in Godot is iffy at times, hence why things fall through the floor. But yeah, it's interesting learning this stuff, especially if you got no knowledge whatsoever of 3D games, programming or anything like that, starting completely from scratch. It's a really interesting thing to start looking into. Yeah, the fine object manipulation is sort of the heart of the game. Because there's going to be something coming after you. I don't know what yet, and probably you won't know what when you're trying to get away from it either. It'll just be a noise in the darkness that you're going to escape from. And to do so, you have to do things like find a wooden plank from somewhere to put over a gap in the floor, so you can then go over the gap and turn around and pick the plank up again, and you've got to actually put it down in the right place and things, and all while something's coming after you. So yeah, and all in the dark, so you can't see what you're doing. And one slip and you've gone down the pit that you wanted to send the monster down. So it'll be a bit of fun. It'll be a bit of fun. So yeah, the doors are what I've been working on today, getting them to actually operate. I need some better sound effects though, these are pretty rough. They're just ones that I've found on Pixabay. So all royalty-free stuff. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, as well as instead of my work. I try and learn something new every day if I can. And at the moment it's all Godot programming, which is sort of Python-like in its sort of layout and style, because it's all very indent-based, like Python is. But it's a nicer language than Python. It's more strictly typed and things like that, and proper object inheritance, and I prefer it to Python, probably because I don't know Python. You could probably do all this in Python quite happily, but yeah, it's apart from the enforced indentation, I quite like the language. But I just cannot get my head around the 3D stuff. I can only think in 2 dimensions. I'm too old to think in 3 dimensions. And when you have to start thinking in 4 dimensions as well, when you've got to factor time into it, it gets... yeah, or in 6 dimensions where you've got position and velocity, it gets... or 9 dimensions, you've got position, velocity and angular momentum. And, oh, it's just... I can't think in more than 2 dimensions. But it's fun. It's stretches my brain. But yeah, all the objects and things I try and create in Blender. So this is the actual level that I've created so far. Not much to it really. Come on, through the wall, thank you. Down, there we go. There's the starting room. But trying to get the texturing right is not easy. So yeah, how I would have it changing the the layout, because it's all been created statically in Blender like this. I have no idea. I mean, I guess I could have multiple copies of the same map with slight differences, and it just switches from one to the other as needed. That could be done. Or I could separate it into chunks, I suppose, of have a grid or something, and have different bits of the map done in different grids, and have different bits of them swapping in and out for different layouts, possibly. That could be done. You've got me thinking now, generic sweetener. So I'm not sure how I would do that, but yeah, now you've said it, it's definitely something I want to do. I'm going to have to do some real heavy thinking on that. Right, 5 minutes to go for the rest of the stream. I'm going to be winding up now, I think. The chunking method is that, yeah. Certainly for big levels, you want to be chunking, where you're just only loading in the area of the level around you. But I can't see this being a big level, so I don't think chunking in that respect is going to be needed. So, but chunking for changing and swapping bits out for different maps, different models, that could be an interesting way of doing it. So as you sort of walk down a corridor, turn round, and it's gone. It's a dead end. A bit like the maze in Labyrinth. Interesting ideas. Thank you for that generic sweetener. I'll credit you on that one. You can have a credit in the credits when I eventually get that far, if I ever get that far. I mean, I don't know if this is ever going to get released. It's more about me learning Godot and 3D game design rather than creating a game. If I release a game out of the end of it, brilliant, but don't hold your breath. Right, I've stuff it. I'm gonna finish my stream here. It's 9 o'clock now, and it's time for me to go and have a cup of tea. Let's get rid of that rubbish. I can close that off now. Oh, no need for a credit, but do make sure my name is in larger font than everything else. With thanks to Generic Sweetener! Oh. Right, where are we? Swap over microphones to my proper one. Right. Oh. Chair fell backwards then. Right. Well, that was an interesting stream anyway. It was 1 win, 1 loss. No overclocking further than we've already done with the celery, because there's no voltage control. And a working turntable. Result. I'm happy with that. So yeah, thank you for joining me for this here stream. Let me just run the outro now. There we go. Yes, thank you for joining me for this stream that I wasn't expecting to be doing. I must stop slouching. It's bad for me to slouch. Yes, I wasn't expecting to stream today, but with no Shelby this weekend, I guess I'm taking over. So you can expect to see me again tomorrow at... well, I can't start at the same time that Shelby would. So I'll probably be starting at 7 o'clock again, or maybe a little bit before. Depends on what time we're eating and when I finish washing up and what have you. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow and Sunday, I hope. Fingers crossed. And Monday. Make up for not streaming yesterday. And I wasn't streaming yesterday because I was on stage singing yesterday. at a choral festival. One of our choirs was performing there, so I was required to go and perform. So if a video ever gets made, I might show it to you. It might be scary though. So right, yes, if you enjoyed this stream, you might like to follow the channel to be notified when I am streaming next. If you are a big fan, you might like to subscribe to help support the channel. You can also find me on Discord and YouTube. But until tomorrow, have a good rest of the evening /day/morning/ whatever time it is in your time zone, and I'll see you tomorrow.